Hey everybody, welcome to the Daily Muddy. I'm Ashley Conrad, and joining me today we have a very special guest who is no stranger to TV, right?
Yeah, I can do it.
Okay, Miss Sarah Deien. And Sarah, today the hope is to talk about something very special that you're involved in, and then also maybe have some fun with, maybe I can learn a two or thing from your history and, in the TV industry and also the radio industry.
All right.
Okay.
I'm game.
All right, cool. So let's start off with, so what you're involved in now is the George H. Riedel Foundation. And that is basically an amazing organization in Hannibal that, from what I understand, does some just really great things that run the gamut from children to pets to, financial support of various things. So you want to go into a little more detail about what this is? Okay.
Yeah. So the Riedel Foundation was established in 2000. Basically, Mr. Riedel, George Riedel, was he was on the board of directors of F&M Bank.
Okay.
And he left a trust. And the trust basically it gives the board wide discretion on what they want to do. So we give away money to nonprofits.
Okay.
Only in Hannibal. Only to 501c3 nonprofits. But we look at the trust and see sort of the things that interested Mr. Riedel, the ways that he left individual bequests. Okay. And we try to honor that in what we do with our money today. Okay. So we give away about $325,000 a year or so. Wow. And it just goes to Hannibal, which is pretty amazing.
Yeah, that's amazing.
It really is.
Okay, so I'm assuming, absolutely. So I'm assuming that Mr. Riedel was, or the Riedel family was born and raised Hannibal, or okay.
Hannibalians.
All right, that's excellent.
Yeah, and so, Mr. Riedel was a big supporter of the YMCA. Okay. So kind of what we do, I mean, it's not set in stone, but, in looking past, at past grant awards, about a third of it just comes right off the top and goes to the Hannibal YMCA. Wow. So we're huge supporter of the YMCA. But then we have still 2/3 of the money, so over $200,000 to give to the various nonprofits. He was a big supporter of tourism and the economy, of course. So like in our most recent meeting, we gave $10,000 to the Mark Twain Boyhood Home Foundation as a matching grant. They're having a fundraiser. So, it's for new audiovisual equipment. Sure. Nothing, exciting stuff, but
but it all lends
stuff,
to,
right?
Lends to, the goals you have with the tourists and getting people down there and making sure people have a good time.
And I mean, it was ancient stuff, and it needed to be replaced. And without Riedel, who knows if it would have ever gotten replaced anytime soon. Right. So, and that was a matching grant. That's something our board loves, is matching grants. They want to see that you got some skin in the game. Sure. So if you're having like a big fundraiser, it's good to approach the Riedel Foundation and say, hey, we hope to raise $10,000. Would you match $10,000? And that is a good way too to incentivize people to give. Sure. Knowing that they've got a match waiting for them.
More bang for your buck and skin in the game. And so then when people are looking for these grants, which there is a board, right? How many board members?
Not very many. No? 5.
Oh, wow.
5, yeah.
So 5 board members make decisions for what to do with this man's awesome money that he left, which is that's just the coolest thing. I mean, number one, who doesn't want to be spending someone else's money? And number two, to do great things with it. That's got to be the best job.
I love my job.
I bet.
Because we don't raise money. I hate to raise money.
Calling people asking for.
It's just not my thing.
Yeah.
So
no donations. You're just doling out money to awesome causes, which is cool.
Obviously, we turn people down.
I was going to ask. So, do people come and present their nonprofit event, or how do they?
They send an application to me as the administrator. I'll go over the application, and if I've got any more questions, I'll ask them. Because I've only been doing this since April. Okay. But I've kind of got a feel now for what the board is looking for. So I'll say, tell me a little bit more about this. Right. if it's a new organization, that's always kind of like, where's this going?
Right. We need a little bit more information.
And so, but no, we really don't. We have the Y come in and present because we're just such a big supporter. And sometimes after a meeting, they'll say, I'm still not sure. Can you go back and ask them?
Sure.
This? And then we'll look at it again in the next month. But, some of the grants I think that I've just been proudest of in the months that I've been doing this is we helped establish the Good Dads program.
I saw that. That is so neat.
So Good Dads it's to help fathers become involved, and we're talking a lot of them are people who are on probation.
Yeah.
Fathers who haven't been paying child support for years. And just to bring them into the fold, and because, you have better outcomes when you have good dads involved. I think that's fabulous. Another thing that we're doing, they're trying to establish themselves in Hannibal, but it's already an established group in Moberly. It's called Faith Bridge, and what they do is help kids who have aged out of the foster system.
Okay.
Because basically they have very little safety net.
Right.
So they come out, obviously they've had traumatic experiences to be in the foster care system. But they get out and it's like,
what do I do now?
I don't have a bed. I don't have a dresser. I don't have anything.
Right.
And so this helps them get established. I think that's just a game changer for these kids in foster care. And of course we do a lot of work with at-risk kids. That was something that Mr. Riedel was promoted to. So that's a big part of our...
That is big. Maybe helping people who don't necessarily have the best... a lot of times you are a product of your environment, and some of these people just don't have the environment to help them. So it's awesome that this foundation kind of helps lay that foundation a little bit. That's great.
That's our goal.
And then I saw something about, books for kids, and it mentioned something about Dolly Parton. And Dolly is, who isn't a fan of Dolly?
Best.
She gives free books to kids, and it's basically like anybody who signs up, right? And so
0 to 5.
Yeah.
But it's still, we call it free books, and we give Dolly the credit.
Nothing's free.
It still has to be.
Yes. Yes.
We still have to. So, actually, we've been the sole funder of the Dolly Parton Imagination Library since it started.
Really?
In Hannibal.
Wow.
We pay for all the books to go to Hannibal.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And good to know. Credit needs to be put where credit's due, absolutely. So, but, you see that name and you're like, oh, okay, it rings a bell. But now it's good to know the association. That's very cool.
The Riedel Foundation, when we started out, I remember when I was doing TV decades ago, you heard about the Riedel Foundation all the time.
Yeah.
And it just kind of has fallen off the radar. So that's part of what I think when they were looking for an administrator, someone who would be comfortable talking about it, someone who could work the way around a news release.
Yeah, sure.
Or handle something with Muddy River.
Go tell it on the mountain. You got to create awareness because
Right.
So I'm sure a lot of people in Hannibal who are, who do these amazing nonprofit, they work for them and they create these events. I'm sure they know, but maybe they don't know exactly kind of like criteria or what it takes to get support from the foundation.
Yeah. And they need to know too. Like we had an application a couple of months ago, and like, we need like new cars, and we need new desks. And I'm like, well, that's just not
really
what we do.
Yeah.
That's not what we do.
Yeah, hit the thrift store.
We all want a new car.
Yeah.
It'd be great if we could give the nonprofits, because they need them. There's no doubt. They need the transportation.
Sure.
But that's not... But if you're programming, then that's what we do. It's like, we'll come back to you and say, listen, but if you have a program that you would like some help with, come back to us. So, we don't just say, and we don't, and anybody is welcome to submit an application. Doesn't mean it's going to be approved.
Right.
But we'll try to get you there.
Right. Kind of help guide you in the right direction.
That's what I do.
That's awesome. That's very cool. Well, I was asking kind of offline here if Quincy had something. I know there is a community support, but we were talking about kind of the difference. Hannibal alone has seen over, what'd you say,
about $7 million.
$7 million in support just from this one foundation. That is just amazing.
Don't
we all wish we could do such awesome things like this? But it is so comforting to know that this gentleman existed and that he left this money on behalf of Hannibal.
Because he could have made his heirs
very happy.
Very happy.
Very happy. But, I know. I was looking to see if I had a Riedel in my lineage anywhere. But I'm very happy that there is a foundation like this that exists, and it's been going since 2000.
2000.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, and we still got money.
Going strong. That is great to know. So if you have a foundation or if you work for a nonprofit that you think maybe the Riedel Foundation could support, reach out to Sarah and the crew over there, and they'll help you figure out if it will work and guide you in the direction that you need to go. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
F&M Bank in Hannibal is. He was a director of F&M Bank, so they're kind of they've been like, they give me the office space, and they're super, super helpful. And so, a shout out to them, because, they helped really make this happen.
Absolutely.
Too,
so shout out to F&M Bank.
Yeah.
Shout out. That's awesome. Yeah. One of the reasons for the season, right?
And to our board too, because, they put in the time, and we meet every month. Yeah. And, that's all volunteer, and and I'm the only paid employee, and I'm only quarter time.
Yeah, right. So it's a lot of work. Yeah, well, I mean, fun. Like, you get the money, and you get the money, and you get that. It would be so much fun, but a lot of work goes into deciding and figuring out who can apply. And that's awesome. Sure. We'll keep it up. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Coming up after this, we're going to talk about a little more fun stuff with Miss Deien. Stay tuned. What if there was one thing that could improve your mood, productivity, and, overall health? There is. It's called a good night's sleep. Harvey's Furniture offers industry-leading beds from Bemco, Chatham & Wells, as well as Spring Air. Harvey's Furniture. Our home, your home. Welcome to the Abbey, a Quincy tradition. With 6 big screens, a new larger kitchen, and now more seating capacity, the Abbey is the place to be. Before, during, and after the big game. Come enjoy fan-favorite appetizers, steaks, burgers, and a variety of daily food and drink specials. Can't join us? Carryout is available too. Now, with a convenient drive-up window to better serve you. 1736 Spring in Quincy. Opens at 3 p.m. Tuesday through Sunday. Come join all your friends at the Abbey, a Quincy tradition.
We started Advanced Physical Therapy 27 years ago with a vision to provide the tri-state area with the best possible physical and occupational therapy.
Over the years, we've grown from 1 clinic to 15 in Illinois, Iowa, and Missouri. Along our journey, we've never lost focus on providing our patients with consistent, quality care.
It's our mission and our passion to help you advance.
Quincy Warehouse Bargains is your Quincy home improvement store. It's the only store of its kind in the Quincy area. We offer flooring, mattresses, area rugs, dining sets, couches, appliances, and much more. And have more products to come so we can better serve the Quincy and tri-state community. Our staff is ready to help you find what you need to make your house a home. Quincy Warehouse Bargains, 4100 North 24th Street, Quincy.
And welcome back. And now we get to talk about some fun stuff. So you have been, you're no stranger to TV or appearances, period, right? So I'm not going to lie. I was a little nervous when I found out I was interviewing this
You're
pro.
So over that now.
Now I was like, now she's making me feel comfortable. And so how you were with Channel 7, right?
Yeah, I was with KHQA. Right out of college. I don't even want to talk
You don't
about
the
have to.
Years. No, that's okay.
Long time. I was with them for 22 years.
22 years.
22 years. And so I started out as an intern. In my senior year of college, I went to Kirksville. And then I was a reporter. Then because I did the morning show. Right, Bob Goff?
Yes.
I was going to say, and you got the privilege to work with Mr. Bob over here. I'm sure there was no...
We didn't have a morning show. This was the start of the morning show, and Bob and I were the original anchors. And so then I think I was the Hannibal bureau chief after I got married, which was perfect because we lived in Hannibal. And so I was the Hannibal bureau chief. Then I came in and then I did the 10 o'clock news. When the kids were born, KHQA was always really good to me.
Yeah.
As far as once my kids were born, I just wasn't, I was just not about, and especially just weird hours,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, yeah.
And
yeah.
so they allowed me to come in. I did the 10 o'clock show. I came in at 8 o'clock at night, put the babies to bed.
Sure, yeah.
And came in and did the show and went straight home.
That's nice.
Yeah. And then after a while, it was kind of exhausting. Then I started doing the morning show. So I would come in at 5, do the morning show, go home. And so they were always wonderful to me so that I could be, the mom first, which is what I always wanted to be.
Absolutely.
We have 4 daughters.
4?
4 daughters. 3 at Mizzou.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
How close are they in age?
Well, the twins are pretty young. The twins are close by 6 minutes.
Okay.
And then, so they'll be 24 in December. I've got a daughter who's 20. So the other 2 are in grad school.
Okay.
And then Emma's in nursing school. She's 20. And then I have an 8th grader.
Okay.
At Holy Family.
Oh, fun.
So,
Fun. Yeah, that's why my husband and I stopped at 2 girls, and everybody always said, well, don't you want to try for a boy? And I said, no, I'll end up with twin girls.
When you try for boys,
Yeah.
you end up with 4 girls.
Yeah, and then I said exactly that would happen. And it's almost like karma for me because I was such a shit to my mom that I was like, yep, I'm going to end up with all girls, and I'm going to have to, and then the wedding, and then the car, and of course prom dresses and all. It's just everything's more expensive with girls. So I was like, I think and dramatic. Mm-hmm. So I think we're just going to,
How old are your kids?
I have a almost 13-year-old and an 8-year-old. She just turned 8.
You're starting to get it now, aren't you?
Boy, it is not for the faint-hearted. I'm like,
I
know.
If
If I make it through, I always say my kiddos are going to be leaders, whether it's a leader of, a gang or a leader of a company, we'll find out. And actually, my youngest daughter, we were watching.
You just really want to
never know.
Use your powers for good.
I know.
Kids, that's
I know.
all I ask.
Yes. And that's to every kid, not just my little rats at home. Right. But anyway, okay, so back to the news. Sorry, I could sit here and chat all day. But, okay, so then you were on TV for a long time, and of course you were great, and I remember you on TV. But I also remember you on radio.
Are you going to say I grew up with you?
No, I would never say that. I would never say that. I will say, because then that would make me,
What happened was when my youngest went into kindergarten, they said, okay, it's time, Sarah, for you to come back and do this for real.
You're like, oh.
And they wanted me in at 2 in the morning to help produce the show. And I'm like, I can't do it.
Yeah.
I mean, what am I supposed to do? Put the kids to bed at 6? Or,
right.
Mama's going to bed at 6 and I'm not going to hit your ball games. It doesn't work. It didn't work for me. So I took a couple of years off. I actually would come in and fill in for them and stuff, write some blogs for them. And then I started on radio, which was fabulous.
Yeah.
Fabulous.
Totally different gig.
Yes, and I liked it because a lot less constraints as far as what you can say,
red tape,
what you can
stuff.
wear.
Yeah,
that was really sweet.
Right,
but it just allows more of your personality to come through.
Sure.
I always kind of used scripts as a loose guideline when I was in TV, and the directors hated me unless they got to know me. Then they would work with you on the script. My cues,
yeah, for sure.
But I was never one to really follow a script very well, which is.
She's looking at Bob. Great. I don't think Bob really did either.
And Randy, who's running the camera, because he directed me. He knows I was kind of a pain to direct. But radio was, was just definitely my speed. And then, you know how it is. It's all about who you work with. Yeah. And I love Jeff Dorsey. Yeah. I'm having lunch with me. He's my work husband. Well, I divorced him. But I'm having lunch today with my ex-work husband and my actual husband.
Yeah.
We both get along. And,
that's awesome.
And he was just a pleasure to work with.
Yeah.
And that doesn't feel like work.
No, and I think you really do start to develop kind of like a family vibe. And I haven't been here that long, but I would say that, this crew is amazing to work with. And it really does make all the difference because they know, they know that my bloopers are probably going to consist of the F-bomb quite a bit of times. Randy's always like, just don't say that. I'm like, I can't help it. And Bob's hilarious to work with. I mean, we just have a really good time. But I'm sure, since you were in, the gig full time, things have changed tremendously.
Oh, you're
right?
Not kidding. Yeah.
So
I hardly recognize KHQA anymore.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I got out at a good time for a couple of reasons. One, when I was, social media wasn't a big thing
Yeah.
at the time. It was, it was coming on, but there weren't that many people on Facebook. There wasn't, we were trying to do, a lot of internet-based stuff, and it was just not my
just getting
thing.
into it. Yeah.
But, people are mean.
Yeah, they are.
And I would hate to be on TV these days
Yeah.
when people are saying, look at that hair.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
What is she wearing?
Everybody has a platform to speak, and almost like the news comments. If you get on some of the stories, they're the worst comments. Everybody's
they're
the
terrible.
judge. Everybody's like, oh, like, yeah, I hope, I try not to read them. There aren't very many about me, thank goodness.
You can go down the rabbit hole pretty easy.
Yeah, or you can just get defensive and feel like, oh my gosh, am I succeeding at anything? But I mean, that, and I think, just the almost, and I'm not saying this about any news station, but it's almost a bias, and you can tell, and it's very blatant, who's paying the bills and who's, directing the agenda. And I think that's why I love Muddy River is, it just doesn't seem like there, it just doesn't seem like there is one. So I'm like,
I love Muddy River because we do news at Muddy River.
Yeah. Yes.
I miss news.
Yeah.
That's my background.
Yeah.
And you're just not getting it locally anymore like you used to.
Local news, making it fun, making it relatable. I think Muddy River does a good job, and I'm not tooting my own horn. I'm just happy to be a part of it. So, it's just, there have been a lot of changes. I'm really happy that you came on here and chatted. I could chat with you all day long, but I think we're running low on time, and I don't want Randy or Bob to have to edit too much. We know how they feel about that. But anyway, I want to thank you so much for coming on to talk. Yeah, and good luck with the foundation.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's just amazing stuff, and I'm glad now I know more about it.
Yeah.
And if I ever, decide not
move
to
to Hannibal,
I was going to say, if I ever decide not to do this, I'm going to come help you be the Oprah of Hannibal's foundation, Real Foundation. That's awesome. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well, that's it for today. We'll see you tomorrow.